Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts with Tea. And there's so much to talk about. And I always have a difficult time trying to figure out what do I want to talk about? I can't talk about everything, you know? So what do I want to get out? And this is for me as well as others. So, what would be most helpful to me and others right now? Anyways, so I am drinking, it looks cool. The color is cool. It is black tea with honey. So they have the chamomile with honey, and the black tea with honey, and the mint tea with honey. So that's what I got going on. And I got it all lined up here right in front of me. Well, you can't really see. Got it lined up, and I got water, and I got a smoothie. This is what I'm doing. Okay. I've been doing that. Hold on. You can get these delivered to your doorstep. And they have a bunch of different flavors. They have other stuff on there too, but it's like vegan. And I tried some of it. I was like, of course, as usual. Anyways, this one has strawberries, bananas, peaches, raspberries, whole grain oats, flax seeds, and goji berries. And it's all organic. All of those are organic. And they get the ingredients and package at the farm or farms. Okay, it was a really small operation not that long ago. And now, as I understand it, you can even get these in the grocery store, in the freezer department. But like most of my food, I get it delivered to my doorstep. So the only thing I really need to go to the grocery store for are just regular fruits and vegetables. And I usually get organic and milk. That's all I go to the grocery store to get anymore. And the grocery stores are where Trumpians like to hunt people down and cause public spectacles, thinking that they're cool. Okay, so that is what I'm doing. Had to get super serious on this whole matter. I should be already losing weight, but my body was so messed up that I'm having a hard time turning it around. Anyways, I'm drinking 2 of these and just 1 meal. And I monitor the portion of the meal. And in between, if I'm hungry, nothing too bad. I'm hungry. I'm getting plenty of nutrients and plenty of calories and plenty of fat. So there's no need to travel outside of that. So, my stomach is a little bit better. It's not as like, so anyways, this kind of cool thing happened. Sort of cool, not really cool, but kind of cool. Okay, so my orange cat is funny. Oh God, he gets so mad when they shut off the electric. I mean, everybody gets so mad. I gave up on being mad because it just is going to ruin me. And me being mad isn't going to do anything to change the situation. So I just do what I need to do now when that happens, and try hard not to get involved in bitching about it, because it brings me down and creates chaos in my nervous system and all that. So it's bad enough that it happens, and so I try not to get sucked into complaining about it. Sorry, I just got a text. So anyways, my orange cat gets really pissed off when they do that. It gets really cold in here, and he's not well. He's really skinny. He's like, has like liver failure or something. I don't know. It's really, the vet is kind of pointless. It's just massive amounts of money for no solutions and no diagnosis. But anyways, his lab work did come back with some stuff about his liver and kidneys, or liver or kidneys, whatever. Anyways, so he's really skinny, and he eats now. I got him to the point where fixed him enough to where he's eating and he's keeping it down, but he's really skinny. Anyways, but he doesn't like snuggly stuff. My orange cat, she likes snuggly stuff. She likes her beds that I got her, and she snuggles in those, and then she gets under the covers in the bed with me. He won't do any of that. He doesn't like snuggly stuff, and so it gets really cold in here, and I don't know, like he's done it a few times to me, and this time I was aware, like, dude, it's not my fault that you're cold and you won't let me like wrap you up so you can get warm, and it's not my fault that they turned off the electric. Like, don't blame it on me. So he's bitten me before, like, and he has the plan. Like, he's so mad, you can see it on his face. He's mad. He's so mad. And I'm like, boy, what's wrong with you, And I knew this time, Dom, okay, I know you're mad. Well, don't bite me, and I was petting him, but he lets you do that. He's sneaky like that. And so he knows exactly where he's going to bite. He likes this part. He likes this part of the hand. And he punctures down to the bone, really. And so he did it again. I was like thinking that he wasn't going to do it, and I had solved the problem. And he did it again the other morning. It was Tuesday morning that he did it. And you're probably like, well, just make a fire. Okay, well, but you can't have the fire on all night long and keep feeding the fire. I need to sleep. And also, here's another thing. It's so dry that, and there's no snow on the ground or anything. So, technically speaking, it's very irresponsible to even make a fire in your fireplace. So everybody around here that has fireplaces, we had to buy these things for the top of our fireplaces, like spark arresters. It's basically a screen that goes over your chimney so that the ashes, the hot sparks don't fly out and land and create a fire. So it's been so dry, there's no wetness, and so lighting a fire in these conditions is very irresponsible. I don't think it's illegal, but it's very irresponsible. And I actually made a fire the other day, and I was like, oh, good, nice and warm, and it's all quiet, and just laying there on the couch and reading and about ready to go to bed when I got this major rush over me of energy, over me, and the thoughts came into my head. Oh shit, about the fire. And I'm like, oh God, I wasn't supposed to make that. Oh shit, So I had to kind of move the wood around and separate it and stay up until the fire was out enough, to where I felt like I could turn my back on it and close it up and go to bed. So we can't even do that. So I have these little heaters that I got for camping. I haven't been camping since I moved up here, actually, because why? I'm already in the middle of nowhere, kind of, Anyways, I got these heaters that, hold on. This is for when I was camping, and I have a couple of them, at least 2 of them. And they have these little propane things, but you can actually buy an adapter and hook up a propane tank, like a bigger propane tank to these. So I saw somebody with it when I was at the horses the last time. I saw them in one of their tents. Well, I don't know, is it a tent? I call it a tent, but it's like this storage thing. Anyways, they had it hooked up. I'm all, look, I have the little buddy. You know, it's called Little Buddy. It's called Buddy. Mr. Heater, and it's called Buddy. So I call it the Little Buddy. There was, when I was a little kid, they created a doll for boys, and it was a boy doll. And it was supposed to be for boys, to get boys playing with a doll or something. And his name was Little Buddy. And they had a little song that went around with it. My buddy and me. Okay, so that's Little Buddy. Okay, so anyways, he's pissed off. And it looked like he wasn't going to bite me. And he was trying earlier in the morning, trying to get at me under the covers. And then, you know, thought I kind of fended it off. I got Little Buddy lit, and I was like, here, come over here. It's warmer. Just get in front of this heater. Because he likes to sit in front of these heaters. I got these heaters out. He loves to sit in front of them. And that's how he stays warm. But anyways, so an interesting thing happened, though. He bit me, and he got his 2 fangs. This one right here on the edge. Oh God, yesterday, late in the day, I was like, this is wrong. This is not normal, because I did the same things I normally do, which is like, oh God, ouch. And I washed it, and I got alcohol on it, and I put triple antibiotic on it. And it's always, every time he does this, it's always very sore for a very long time. It's a very tricky area. There's a lot of nerves and tendons in there. And dude, those teeth go far down. And so that was Tuesday morning. And then yesterday evening, I was like, this is not going well. My whole hand, like all the way over onto this side, was red and swollen, and, you know, of course here, red and swollen, and pus was coming out of it, and it was just like, I was having a really hard time. I mean, it hurts anyways doing this now, and it always has, because it's just in that area. It's like, oh God, it really hurts. And so, but I was remembering, okay, I'm doing this Qigong, and this is healing stuff, and he's teaching us healing things. I'm not passing along everything right now. First of all, it's his program, and I don't want to give away everything that's in his program. It's just like little samples to give people what they need to get healing going within their own selves. And then I think most people are not like me. They don't need a bunch of explanation and the scientific backing for what they're doing and why they're doing it. Most people are not like me like that. They are good with you just saying, do this and imagine this while you're doing it. They're good with that. They're good with that. And they'll follow that. And if it's working for them, they'll continue. Okay. But, anyways, so that's what I'm doing with the programs. I'm just very conscious of, look, this is somebody else's work and information. And I do have the right to learn that and then pass it along to people. But, I am cognizant of boundaries and not stealing things from people. And so I still think that they deserve the money for other people to do their programs while I'm making myself a master at it and learning how to teach it to other people. So I was thinking about the stuff that I've been learning in these Qigongs. And let's see, I I did the 6 healing sounds, and and I'm talking about Robert Peng, because the stuff from the Shaolin Europe, it tells you how to do it step by step, but it doesn't give you any of the foundation of what you're doing and why. And you're not getting the proper breathing techniques either. So through the Robert Peng, this is much more directed towards healing, and theirs is directed towards self-mastery. And if you just master these things and keep continuing to practice them, then you'll feel better in the end for a lot of reasons. Okay, but Robert Peng is a healer. And what he's doing is giving all the information about how you can heal yourself, and about energy, which they call qi. The different cultures call this different things, but it's all different words for the same thing. You know, it's just different language. Okay, like we have a pine tree out here. Okay, but in different languages, they call that something different in their language, but we're still looking at the same object. So they all talk about whatever way they've put words to the qi. So the Chinese call it qi. I think the Japanese call it Reiki. No, I think I'm incorrect about that. I don't think Reiki is the term for the energy, but I'm learning. Okay. So anyways, I was sitting there and I was like, you know, this is scary, and I can't make a doctor's appointment until tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get antibiotics for this. It wasn't looking good at all. It wasn't looking good at all. I mean, the swelling, and somebody else saw it too. So, I was like, this does not look good. Is this my imagination? You know? So I got up first thing this morning and made a doctor's appointment, and I needed to make the doctor's appointment anyways, for a couple other matters that I need to, you know, get things, some things kind of organized and taken care of. But, anyway, so I was sitting there last night, really scared. I'm like, oh God, I hate this. I hope they have an appointment, you know, maybe I can get in. You know, last night I was thinking maybe I can get in tomorrow or Friday. But I'm probably gonna have to go in for a walk-in appointment and go immediately in the morning, because, you know, typically with bacterial infection like this was last night, this is not going to get better overnight. It's going to get worse. It's already set in, and there's nothing that I can do about it. I put alcohol on it, and I put triple antibiotic ointment on it, and this is I washed it with soap and water first, and this is the way that I normally do this, and I've never had this problem before, so I was like, oh God. So I was a little bit worried, and then last night I was sitting there, this has alcohol on it, so I was just sitting there with some alcohol on it, just, you know, getting it to absorb through my skin as much as possible and whatever, and hoping that maybe it might suck some of it out, or I don't know, just different thoughts. And so then I was sitting there feeling like how it was just, I could feel it. Like, this is not good. Like, it's almost like I could feel it running up my arm or something, you know? And so I was thinking about these, this healing stuff. And I was like, maybe in the morning I can get up and do my Yi Jin Jing and get into the healing session. And when I'm focusing my chi, I can focus it to here. And so I was doing that last night, sitting on the couch and being very intentional about the chi and sending it here. And you know, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking, but it was just like healing, you know, and just focusing on the energy going there, not like looking at it, really just sitting there and just in my head and just, like I can sort of hear it in my head going, you know, like heal that fucker. And so what was interesting is now I woke up this morning and I looked at my hand and I was like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Because I don't see any redness or any swelling right here. And there was just a little bit like right here. And so then I kind of took the Band-Aid off a little bit and it looks like not pussy. And it feels like there might still be something in there. Like if I really squeeze at it, or press on it, it'll come out. But this even feels better around it. It's a lot softer, and there isn't the pus coming out. And I was like, okay, I'm still making I gotta go anyways. Before I do these programs in residency, I gotta go to the doctor anyways and get some stuff settled. And then I need to ask about this, you know, but I was like, based on the way this looks, I can wait and go to the appointment tomorrow. I don't have to just run and drop everything today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow, but I'm going to do some more healing energy on it today. And maybe I can forego the antibiotics. So I don't know what happened, but this was already really far along to where it was all swollen and red in here. And it was like I was having a hard time. Like I could just feel it. Like it felt like it was going, like it was spreading. Like I could just feel it. And there was like this weird feelings, you know, and I was like, this is not good. Do I need to go to an emergency room? Like I was pondering that, you know, and, but then I woke up this morning like that and I was just like, I'm still grinning to myself. Did I do that? Did I just heal or partially heal and slow down that bacterial infection? That's what I was thinking. Like if I could just slow it down even until I can get to the doctor so I don't have to go to the emergency room, that would be great, you know? And so I was just messing around, but it looks like that my messing around actually did something. So I'm a little bit flabbergasted and so joyful. I feel so joyful about it. It's so weird, really weird, and also very awesome because I don't really have any training and I just decided to do that. And when I was doing it, I could feel something, you know, and I was even like I've been under so much gaslighting in my life. I have so much self-doubt, you know, but I'm just like, am I really feeling what I'm feeling? Like I really felt something happening energetically. Like there was a different energy feeling going on in here when I was doing that. And I wasn't even really, I'm just lounging on the couch and not doing anything and just, you know, half paying attention to it really. And I was just like, let me just take a few minutes out and, you know, not out really. I'm just sitting there in the middle of whatever was on my YouTube. And no, I think I was watching HBO. I was watching, I watch it all the time. What's that show called? Anyways, The Big Bang Theory. I still watch The Big Bang Theory and I still watch Friends. I hardly watch that stuff anyways, but you know, sometimes I just put that stuff on because it's just so mellow and lighthearted. And Frasier. Frasier is another favorite. I haven't watched Frasier in quite a while though, but I've been watching, Big Bang's been my choice lately when I want to put something easy on, you know. My days and what I watch are normally filled with facts, you know, getting information. I'm an information person. I haven't read hardly any like books, like novels. I am a TV and movie watcher, not a novel reader, but information books. Oh God, I can't even. I don't even know how many I've read. So much information, and then YouTube, so much information, and then there's like information stuff on Amazon. Like if you get Gaia, or Gaia, then there's a lot of really great programs on that too. But it's all information, I hardly watch movies, new stuff anymore. Okay, anyways, so this is amazing. And okay, you might have noticed, because some people that are what do you call it? I'm losing my words. I actually spent a lot of time writing up a couple of responses this morning to help a lady out kind of a little bit. And the town, really, to let them know, like, hey, this is a tactic that they use, because somebody stood up today and put out a really great post. It's highly technical, but there is a place for that. And so a couple of people chimed in that were trying to divert the situation with a shiny object and cast doubt and all kinds of stuff. So I got in there and I tried to keep it short. And so I processed a lot in that time for just only like not very many words to come out, really. But I'm trying to get more into that. But anyways, so if you're really aware, then you probably noticed the scar on my hand, and that has nothing to do with me trying to kill myself or something. It was an accident at work at my first job. This is kind of a funny story. See, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and I got this book out, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll tell you a story. There's a really great story about substitute teaching that I have, and I'm like, I could tell that story. But then as soon as I sat down, I was like, oh, I'm going to tell about this to start with. And so now it's already 30 minutes in. So apparently I did something, because it doesn't make sense why it would have reversed itself. It literally didn't just slow it down, but it looks like it completely reversed it. It's really amazing. It was really swollen and really sore, and I know what those kinds of infections do. And one time I got scratched by a cat, and dude, it was an outdoor cat, and I went to the doctor. My hand was, it was a matter of just a few hours. It was like, oh my God. And they're like, good thing you came in, because you could have lost your hand, and so it's very serious with those kind of bacterias, So anyways, I did that. I'm so joyful about it. It's so incredible. I'm trying to, like, with my self-doubt is trying to cast doubt. But it's so obvious, and I know better. And I have to admit to myself that, yes, I did that. I did that. Unless, taking this and putting it on there and soaking it actually did something. But that didn't work with the cat scratch. Oh, they called it cat scratch fever. And there's a song that's called Cat Scratch Fever too. It's a funny song. Cat Scratch Fever. I think it's an 80s song. Anyways, so I did this. I healed myself. I reversed it. Apparently. That's the only thing. So interesting. Okay, so I think that I'm just going to keep it short. I'm a little exhausted. And, but what's really cool is I do the SMARTS program. It's, an acronym, that comes out to SMARTS is the acronym. And it's a volunteer program for the elementary school kids. And we bring in art to them. And so it's really special for them. They get a break from they're still in their Satan classroom, but they get a break from all the normal day-to-day classroom stuff. And they have 2 people come in, and I do the helping part, because doing the artist part, being the artist, is a lot of work and a lot of planning. And no, I don't have time for that. But I am more than willing, and it's really fun just to show up and be the helper. So help get the supplies ready and then passed out and cleaned up and help the kids if they need help. And this last class was yesterday that I went to, and that was so much fun. The little art project that the person planned, it took a whole new, really wonderful turn, because I had pointed out, hey, look what this kid did. You know, he didn't do what he was instructed to do. He just went way outside the box, you know, and made, it was construction paper, and it was making hearts, like you can make those construction paper rings, and it's like a trail, and it's rings, and then you, after you're done with making that, you put it around your Christmas tree. And it was something like that, but it was stringing together hearts. Like you staple the piece, you kind of fold it and then staple the piece of paper, and then you do that, and you hook them all on, and then it ends up with a string of heart. You know, next month is Valentine's Day. I don't partake in these kinds of things. I think it's very contrived and unromantic. Anyways, I don't participate, and but it's cute for the kids and stuff. But so this one kid, and there's always at least one kid that doesn't do as instructed, which I'm happy about. I'm cool. Do your own thing. This is art, you know. But there's at least one kid that colors outside the lines, so to speak. And this kid, what he was making was really cool, and it was really creative. I don't know. He was kind of like this big like flower. It was almost looking like a daisy, and I don't know what he was planning. I kind of forget what he was trying to do. But anyways, it was this really like kind of complex thing, and then he ended up making it like a hat, and then it had like, and then I pointed it out, and I'm like, look what he did, and I'm like, isn't that cool? And he goes, oh my God, it's so cool, the artist guy, and then he told the class, hey, you don't have to just make hearts, look what he did, you can make anything you want. And they're like, okay. Oh God. This is the most fun I think I've seen anybody have. For whatever reason, this just took off, and the kids were having so much fun. They started making all kinds of different hats and shapes, and one person to put, they made hearts and stuff, but then they strung it together in a way that it made a person. I mean, it was like really long, and then it had like a head, and she even put hair like hanging down, and arms and legs. And she named it Carl, Carl. So she named it Carl. And then another person was like, oh, you know, like, look how long mine is. You know, is it too long? And this was before we told them just to do whatever they wanted. And I'm like, no, it's not too long. Make it however long you want to. You can make it as long as this room if you want. So sure enough, they got together, and they were like, okay. And then they totally did. They made it as long as the room. And then they're going to, you know, put them up on the ceiling of the room and just have them all dangling down for a while. It was fun. And then, but the two classes, the two times before that, I was put back to back in a kindergarten class. These were fifth graders, this last one. And the kindergarten are my favorite. If you've ever seen that movie, Kindergarten Cop, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's exactly like that. The kindergarten rooms are so funny, and the kids are so funny. And just watch Kindergarten Cop if you need an idea, because that's exactly the way they are. They tell you random stuff, and they want to tell you about everything, and they have so many different stories, and they aren't spoiled yet, you know. They still do what you tell them to do, and there's no like games going on, and they're totally fine to be there, and they like the stuff that they do, and it's it's all fresh and new for them, and they haven't gotten the attitudes that, I mean, there's a reason why they get attitudes. It's not their fault. They are responding and reacting to the environments that they're in, so, and that they come from. But anyway, so that was really fun, and that was going to lead me into a story of when I was substitute teaching. This is a hilarious story. Okay. So I did all grades, and I did an after school program, and I was substituting for about 5 years or something like that. And I decided that I didn't want to go into teaching. And I decided that because my experience with the teachers and the school system was what I didn't want any part of. So I decided not to do that at that time, that there were other things and other options that I wanted to try out, and that I was really turned off by the way the administration operated. So, but I was in 2 different school districts, substitute teaching, and then I also did an after school program. It's called MAD Science. So that was all over San Diego at all different kinds of school districts and elementary school. And so anyways, so I did all grade levels, kindergarten through high school. And I also did the special ed classes, and I also substituted PE too. I just did whatever, because I just thought this is interesting and good experience for me and everything like that, for my skills and just learning new skills, you know. So there was this one class that I did, and it was a special ed class, and it was a really great special ed class. There was a really great teacher. And she had me substitute for her quite often, and she would also call me in to be a teacher's aide for her to help out. And it was a really small class. And there was a couple of students in there that really stood out to me. And I still remember to this day. And it was a really cute classroom because there was a kitchen in the classroom. So part of what we would do sometimes is take the kids on a little excursion off campus and walk down to the grocery store. And the kids walked with us, you know, we walk them down to the grocery store and pick up some ingredients to make something. And then we go back to the classroom and show them how to make the food. Trying to give them basic skills that they'll need as an adult. Okay, and there was a kid in there with that I was told he had Asperger's, and I don't know too much about the Asperger's. I do know about autism, and I do know about Down syndrome. And although Asperger's is said to be on the autistic spectrum, I still don't know that much about it. I know that the Asperger's are accused of having anger problems, and so I'm not for sure buying into Asperger's syndrome so much, because when I have been around Asperger's, all I kept thinking was, this child's abused, and he's pissed off because he's abused, and he has bad behavior because he's abused. And they're putting a label on him that there's something wrong with him, when it's just his body and his mind reacting to the abuse. So, not that there isn't something called Asperger's, that's very real and legitimate, but the children that I've been around that have been accused of having it, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And then in this classroom, there was a kid with Asperger's, and he clearly was more than capable of doing work, but apparently there were problems. But I didn't delve into it at that time about what the problems were that he was having in other classrooms that made them put him in this classroom, which he clearly didn't belong in. So I remember talking to him, just being like, I don't understand why you're in here. And he was like, and I was like, well, I go, just go with it. And you can just help the other kids, you know, because you clearly don't belong in here. And that lit him up. And I know that I acted as what's called a sympathetic witness. In psychology, that's called a sympathetic witness. And all it takes to change one child's life or one person's life so they can take that seed and grow it into much more for themselves and take themselves down a positive direction in life. So I still, and I have chills. I have chills all over me talking about it. I hope for him that that stayed with him, and he knew that the problem isn't necessarily with him. It could be a problem with everybody else, and that I didn't say this, but that, you know, maybe there's shit going on in his house and he's very angry, and maybe because he comes across as angry and doesn't want to do his work, and because of the abuse, maybe he's not very great at doing the work that they want him to do, because his mind can't think straight because of all the abuse. Maybe he's getting bullied and picked on, and he's reacting to that and getting blamed for not reacting properly to the abuse, rather than getting the people in trouble, the kids in trouble that are abusing him and bullying him. Because I know I went through it. I went through it personally. I always got in trouble for my reaction to the abuse and the bullying. But the children that were doing the bullying didn't get anything that happened to them. And it still goes on like that to this day as I'm sitting here. The bullies just don't do that anymore. Meanwhile, the people that are being abused get kicked out of school, get kicked out of their classrooms because they hauled off and fucking shoved back. But what got heard and what got seen is the shoving back. And I am pretty positive that that's what was going on with that particular child. But there was this really cute Down syndrome girl, so beautiful, really beautiful, blonde hair, blue eyes, and you could just barely tell that she had Down syndrome, and so sweet. The Down syndrome kids are so loving. They're so loving. You know, if they're, you know, not being abused, you know, they're so loving. And this is why they get taken advantage of. Especially girls. A girl like her, who's as pretty as she is and as loving as she is, men are going to take advantage of that. And boys are going to take advantage of that in a sexual way. So, but she's so sweet, and I'd be working with her. I'd be like, come on, you know, it's just drifting off, and, you know, it's just like they have no desire to learn this stuff, you know. It's just like you gotta kind of coax them through it, and I was like, come on, we gotta do this, you know, you gotta know how to do this. Let's, you know, I think it was like counting money or something, worksheet, and I was just like, okay, like, come on, gotta do this, like pulling her attention back. And every time I would do that, she would look at me. She would go, don't worry. Don't worry. And then she would take her hands on my face and be like, don't worry, baby. And then sometimes I'd be like, okay, come on, we gotta do this. Let's keep going. And then she would turn and do the same thing and grab my face, and she would be like, she'd get really close. She'd be like, "You're a very beautiful lady." And I'd laugh like that. "Oh, thank you." And she goes, "No, no, don't laugh. You are. You're a very beautiful lady. You're a very beautiful lady." Like that. "Well, you're an angel. I might be a very beautiful lady, but you're an angel. And you're very beautiful too. So where's those wings?" There's that. Okay, and here's where it gets funny. Very interesting too. Okay, so this is long. Okay, so there were two autistic kids in there. They were brothers. Okay, one of the brothers was verbal, what they call verbal, which means that he could speak English and talk to you. And he was willing to do the work. And these kids, before I was around these kids, I was around autism before, but they were barely functional, autistics, and just different than these kids. And I could tell, like, okay, definitely they have autism, you know, but this is definitely a different, they're operating on a different area of the scale from what I had seen before. And I was like, these kids are interesting. And like, they seem like they're totally there and very smart, but that everything is just so basic and boring that they can't bring themselves to participate, kind of thing. Like, they're here in this realm, but they aren't, you know. And it's like, are you guys aliens? Because what's going on here, you know? And there's the one that wasn't verbal. He used to draw these symbols, and it looked like Egyptian symbols, or, you know, it could have possibly been something like Chinese, but I think it reminded me of something more Egyptian-like, you know, symbols. And it was like a repeated symbol too that he just drew constantly. He drew it incessantly, and he wasn't going to participate. He didn't participate at all. Like you really had to harass him to do these worksheets, you know. Come on, you know, do this, write this down here, you know, this is the question. And then, like, I started getting more sort of harassy about it, and I'm like, he wouldn't make eye contact either, you know. And it was so weird, because I'd be like, come on, let's do this. Come on, it's really easy. I know it's easy for you. I know you can do this because you already showed me that you can do this. And so let's just do this and get it over with, you know? And then sometimes when I would be doing that, all of a sudden, like, and he would draw the things, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, and I have to put my hand in front of his pencil and not let him draw, you know, whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, they told me that I'm not allowed to let you do that. I don't know what these mean, but I feel like they mean something, but you're supposed to be doing this, and, you know, like, whatever. So sometimes he would, you know, he would look up at me and make eye contact with me. It was so freaky. He would make eye contact with me. All of a sudden he'd be like, and he would, like, look at me like this while he wrote down the answer over here real quick. Not even looking. And like, somehow he was able to sense where to put his pencil or whatever to fill it in. And he just filled it, and it was correct every single time. And so I was like, this kid is really interesting. And I'm like, you're really interesting. I know you're in there. And I know you understand. And so I just thought this was so interesting. And then he started doing it even more often. He'd be like, because I would just laugh, and I would just be like, hey, hi, I know you're in there. Let's just do this, you know? And then there was this one day I was substituting, and all of a sudden, the two brothers, it was actually the one that I was helping that started the conversation. And then he started talking to his little brother, and his little brother was talking back, and they had this back and forth for a couple minutes, or like a minute or two. And it wasn't English. They had their own language. And that kid, it was perfectly verbal and knew everything that was going on. He just wasn't going to participate with us because we are not, I don't know. Like, is he an alien? I don't know. And so he's not dumb, though. There's nothing really like wrong with him per se, like he's there, he's verbal, he knows the answer to every single one of these stupid questions that they're trying to get him to, fill out. Like, he doesn't have to think, like, he just knows it. And so I was tripping out on that. I'm all, see, I know you're in there. I'm gonna figure you out. So there was one day that I was substituting again, and this gets to the funny part in the end of the story, where I was substituting. So I was up at the front of the class teaching, and the school is like all schools where they have these big clocks, and they have the hands on them. They're not digital, and they're hardwired, into the school system, and I didn't notice it, but he noticed it somehow. Even though the clock, like, he's here and the clock's over here. So how he knew that was happening, I don't know. Because he wasn't really looking around the classroom and stuff, So whatever, he somehow picked up on the fact that the clock was out of control. It was going like the hour hand was going like this, and then every time then that would click, like, so the minute hand was going like this, and then the hour would click, and then it would click, and then it was, so the clock was totally going out of control. And, he all of a sudden looks at me and points at the clock, and he's all, "Clock go fast, clock go fast." He knows English. He can talk. And I look up at the clock, and I'm, oh God, it looked funny. It really did look funny. And I looked at him. And then I told one of the TAs, I'm like, "Hey, look at the clock." He's saying, "Clock go fast, clock go fast." And then they were tripping that he said anything in English and communicated with anybody. And then it was also funny because the clock, when I said that to the lady about the clock, then the other kids that were over here, they looked at the clock, and then all of a sudden it was a mass rush over to the wall, and they were climbing on the desks and climbing on the chairs trying to touch the clock, and they were like, "Oh, look at the clock," and it was just like, it was so sweet and so cute, but at the same time I'm like, I told you. I know you understand. You're a genius inside of you. So I don't know what you're going to do with your life, and I don't know what these symbols mean. And I don't know, I was allowed to take a couple of his papers home with the symbols on it, and maybe somewhere in my papers that I've stored away, maybe I still have one of the papers with the symbol that he was drawing repeatedly. I just wanted to keep it and figure out what that symbol meant. Why was he repeatedly drawing the symbol? I still don't know to this day, and I might have the paperwork and I might not, because sometimes I clear things out and I'm like, oh, forget this, I could have done that with that group of papers and things like that. But these kids are very interesting, and the autism is very interesting, and those particular autistic children were very special beings, and I'm not so sure they're human. They were too special to be human, but in a good way, special. Yeah, there's a genius inside that kid, and everything else was just so elementary and just boring. Like, what am I doing here? Like, he's lost or something. Like, he's not on the right planet. Like, there was a mix-up and he went to the wrong planet or something, because that was just so interesting. But okay, that's my story. Oh, and then, you know, I told him, okay, your rap name. I gave him a rap name. My rap name is Lil Wombosi. And I gave that rap name to Baby Girl, my cat, whose adopted name is Aloha, but I always call her Baby Girl. And sometimes Bulldog, because she's like this. Sometimes she looks like a bulldog. And then she's so scrappy. She's so gangster. I said, okay, you're Lil Wombosi. So we're both Lil Wombosi, but his rap name is Clock Go Fast. And I thought of him as that one guy, that one, you know, 80s rapper guy, who always wore the big, huge clock around his neck. And I think he still wears that to this day, by the way. I forget what his name was, but, like, I just wanted to put that clock, you know, that guy goes, give it to this kid. And here, like, your rap name is Clock Go Fast. And I'm not worried that you don't know what that means, because I know you know what everything means. Like, I don't know what ended up happening to those kids, but special is what they are. Not retarded. Special skills is what, especially Clock Go Fast. He has special skills and a special mind that we as humans just don't understand. So anyways, that's it. Those are my thoughts for today. And, I think I'll, talk about what's in this, book later. It's about, Yoga Sutras, which is basically, as I'm interpreting it, sort of like a Bible, because yoga isn't just stretching. Okay, so that's a teeny tiny piece of it. Just like the Kung Fu is a small piece of the whole Shaolin system. The Shaolin system involves a lot more than just Kung Fu. And yoga involves a lot more than the movements that you see advertised everywhere. I went back to the yoga and delved deeper into the yoga because the Zen Buddhism developed as a result of people going over to the Asian cultures and bringing like Buddha and other practices, energetic practices, like the Qigong and stuff like that to them, because the Buddhist monks never exercised and everything. So what they brought over to them created the Shaolin system. It began it. You know, they took the information and then adapted it the way that they adapted it. But still, this goes back further. It goes back to India and those populations, and they brought that to the Asian cultures. And so I like to go to the source of things. So once I learned that, I said, okay, history of yoga. And then I just started punching things in, and now it's all tying together for me. The Eastern philosophies are tying together with some of this yogic stuff that I already had exposure to. And it's gathering it all into this really wonderful system of thoughts and beliefs and practices, and it's very scientific, really. This has all been scientifically studied and proven, and So that's where I'm at. And I was going to talk about something very specific that is in this one book that ties in with something that was brought up in my meditation course. But there's not enough time for that. So I'll keep this book out, and hopefully that'll be my Thursday thoughts for next week. All right. See you for a Monday movement, and that's as long as the because I will just go to the town hall. Over here the I got this like battery to hook up the to charge my phone, and to hook up the internet equipment. But this time the internet also shut down. Because we have cable internet in this house, and in this neighborhood. Something else is coming by, fiber optics or something like that, that I think that I could switch to, and I think that we in the neighborhood can switch to it. But I haven't really looked into that enough. But anyways, it kind of gives me more motivation to kind of look into that, and if that would be shut down too. So anyways, I'll do my best with that. It sucks because whenever that happens, you just get diverted, and then you have to catch up, and I don't have room for that, but it is what it is. So I'm in catch-up mode right now. All right, anyways. Have a wonderful day, and stay safe, and best wellness to everyone. Until next time, bye-bye.